What's up, everyone? Keontae Marone here. I just wanted to go ahead and make this video just because it just comes to my mind a lot as a creative. This is just any part of creative. Me, I'm a filmmaker. I also am a writer. So when I see content on social media, it's not just a YouTube blame. Like, even me making this video already in itself is kind of playing into it when you talk about this concept of today's video, which is feeling like you have to make content daily and to satisfy I'm gonna make this a raw video and to satisfy the algorithm of YouTube or any social platform. Now, personally, I do have other platforms, obviously Instagram. I do have a TikTok where I post filmmaking content, but as somebody who also has ran and still run a TikTok account with like 20,000 subscribers or 20,000 followers, that page started off as comedy and then now turns into me yapping. But you kind of still fall for that in a way. In order for me to go ahead and generate income from that page, I have to continuously crank out content after content. So when I'm giving out this advice, it's not like I'm not doing it as well or I haven't fall for it. But that doesn't allow me to be creative. I'm just a certified yapper, not trapper. So I can sit in front of a phone and talk all day, hours and hours on end. I've done it many times, even on lives on that account. But my main point of saying this is when it comes to creativity, me yapping isn't me being creative. That's just me talking. From a creative aspect, with me making my films, making short films, I realized that even when I started this channel, I've had this channel since I was 10 years old, 19 years old. If you look at my page, I think the about says like 2011. I was 11 years old when I made the channel to watch YouTube. And almost a decade and a half later, I'm now making content. And a few years ago, I started. And my first video on this page is when I was 16, and I made a video when I was in high school. And all that stuff is very helpless fun. But as soon as I tried to take it from a let me go ahead and try to be nice with the algorithm, that started like 3 years ago when I really started being more consistent and making filmmaking content on here. But to get to my main point, when it comes to being creative, you shouldn't be forced to create. Now, there are other writers who I do admire. I think Paul Thomas Anderson, Stephen King, there are a lot of writers, and there's many more who force themselves to write. Now, there are times, I'm writing my second feature right now and I'm finishing up. There are times you do have to force yourself to write. But when it comes to like social media content, that's what I'm going to primarily talk about today. You shouldn't have to just crank out stuff just to be seen. And like I said firsthand, even for those yapping videos that start off with comedy, um, dropping stuff daily and by the hour and figuring out what's the best time to post, I still fall for it. I still do it. But now I want to just go ahead and just like how I view life, take it a day at a time, and not to force things that should not be forced. Let things happen. And when posting content like that, it does make you feel like I am forced. I have to crank stuff out. Now, yes, there is a good thing that comes out of that is learning discipline and making content and just cranking things out, because no matter what, in order to get seen and to some extent, you do have to start posting. But when it comes to you're literally forced to do it to make the algorithm barely even notice you until you just snap, it's never overnight. When I hit the 20,000 subscribers on TikTok at the time, it wasn't overnight. That took 2 years posting dang near daily just to hit that point. And it was 20K likes, 1 million views, or 1 million views, 20K followers, 1 million likes. And that took a long time. That was a daily grind. So I'm not saying it's bad to want to have this goal of posting daily. I'm not saying that at all. But don't let that interrupt your work, your creative workflow. Like I previously just stated, I am working on my second feature and I am working on that getting made. I will talk to you guys about that soon and going about, fundraising and financing, all that stuff, incentives to get my first feature made. Um, Creative takes a long time. To be real, my first feature was right after my nanny passed, my great grandmother, and she believed in me. She's ever since I started this channel. I don't know if y'all may remember. I talk about it on occasion. I first started out doing stop motion at 12 years old. On my page, I still up KWE Animations 1. And on that page, like I said, it's just stop motion. I was just a kid cranking stuff out. and I stopped when I was 16, around the first time I made my first video on this page. And you know, with her passing, it was very rough for me and obviously in the family. But for me personally, knowing that she believed in me and I got closure before she passed, realizing that I can do it. My first feature was written within 6 months. But as a creative, you kind of do have to force yourself to make stuff when you don't really want to, but it's also based on your ideas. And I don't want to focus too much on that script right now because I will talk about that in another video. But don't force your creativity. Let it just happen. Let it just flow. Even with this video, like I said, I'm just gonna run the whole way through. I'm a yapper, so I don't care about the time count right now. I'm like, okay, what's the best time frame to hit? And then boost the algorithm. Sure, I might mess around and play with the thumbnail and title just a little bit. Come see, come saw for real. But the main thing is take your time. Like there's a creator on here that I rock with. I think his name is Adrian something. He's a dope film. I've mainly seen his stuff. I haven't seen his films yet, but he cranks a lot of filmmaking content out. And I think right now he's probably on like day 100 or something because I think he said he's posting every single day of this year. Content creators like that, way different from what I'm talking about. I admire what he's doing. It depends on your goal. And there are just some goals, like for him, I don't know, maybe he's just doing that to build his own stuff up. But like I said, I respect him. But in certain aspects, for me personally, and for most creators, because I see content like that and I love it and I want to be like that and create more. But from a filmmaking aspect, for me and my creativity, I can't. But I admire him and respect him for him doing that. And there's other creators doing the same thing who are doing the same, posting daily to get viewed by the algorithm. And the algorithm is the algorithm. I just sat back and watched a few videos, and I just keep getting it over and over again. The algorithm is going to do its thing regardless, and it's going to push you when it wants to. And yeah, you may have to do a little something, but at the same time, no. I've seen a few filmmaking pages that hasn't posted in 3 years, but when they just came back, maybe they deleted stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta take that into account, maybe, but probably not. Like they messed around and uploaded a video after 3 years, and now it's viral. You know, it really just depends. It's only honestly based on people's timing. Who knows? I might blow up from YouTube out of nowhere because I'm just doing my own thing. Timing. I really feel like I should just have the video be focused on that. But basically, I'm going to keep coming back to this point because that's the reason why I even wanted to make this video. Make stuff at your own timing. Like I was saying with that feature, it took me 6 months. I'm writing my second feature. It's pretty much taking me around the same amount of time as where I'm at right now, but you got to be passionate for it. But like I said, I'll talk about in a separate video of my screenwriting process, or just writing process, not just screenwriting, but just my writing process in general when it comes to ideas and even my short films, and how I just have a quick turnaround based on my passion, or not even just passion, but my drive to do it. But if you're driven to make a lot of content and crank it out, that's on you. But for creatives that feel like I'm the type that want to go against the grain. You tell me go ahead, post a video every single day in order for the algorithm to do it. I'm gonna subconsciously be like, nah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But then I'll end up doing it. See, and there are pros and cons to it. But I just know personally, for me to keep seeing content telling me to post all the time, and then there's certain type of content, I'm just a very distinct person. We all are very varied individuals, but for me personally, somebody keep telling me to do something over and over again, I'm gonna naturally want to oppose. But it's a whole nother thing in itself. So yeah, when it comes to being creative, make stuff at your own pace, do stuff at your own time. Don't feel like you have to do what the algorithm says. Even with me trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm hitting that point in my life where I'm not really caring in a very genuine way. Not to sound cool, but I just my perspective on life is obviously different. My faith allows me to do that, but to be real, I don't know. I don't want to sound pessimistic or anything like that. It's just do what you want. I make the content I want to see. Don't also feel like you need to be stuck in a certain type of niche to be seen. I make the cinematic breakdown videos, yes, because they do well, but I love lighting. I love cinematography. I love filmmaking. So for me to sit back and make these videos to then get attention, yeah, in a way still falling for that, I don't say trap, but kinda. But it's something I actually want to do. So do things you actually want to do. Don't let these videos, and sometimes it is a timing thing. There's probably is a time where I do need to crank more videos out, but that's for me to decide, not an algorithm. And a lot of time it is timing. So a video when I needed time to be like sit down somewhere, I got that. Now I'm chill, like right now. And there's probably a time where it'll be like, hey, you need to be cranking out more, whatever. It may not even be content. It could be whatever aspect of your life. But obviously, I'm talking about creative, and it's like, okay, go ahead and drop more videos on this. Make a series out of that. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video right there. I'll probably just upload this Monday morning per usual. It's just funny how you could sit back and be like, nah, I'm not rocking with that, and you still subconsciously still end up doing it anyways. But I think I'm just gonna end it there. I love y'all. Love every single one of you. Have a blessed one. Peace.